Alright gang, welcome back to our mountain survival here on AgroForests, and as you can tell, I've made a change. I've spent a lot of money doing so, but I've switched gears here and bought a trailer for wood chips, and then obviously I'm utilizing our favorite tree devour mod to help get those wood chips. Now, I wanted to, kind of start the series a little bit with, the old-fashioned classic way, but as we were moving forward on that, it just, I think this is going to be an easier approach for us, and what I mean by that specifically is the fact that we're trying to remove trees on hills. It's not going to be perfect no matter what way we do it. This is just going to be an easier way for us to be able to continue to move forward here, and it's also going to be a way that, well, quite frankly, it's going to be a way that we can make hopefully a little bit more money than we were before. And it will be a little bit easier for us to be able to manage the stumps because we can do both in one sitting. Rather, before we would have to winch, the trees themselves to the sell point, sell those, and then eventually we were going to have to get some kind of a stump grinder, right? Now, we can basically take the tree down, get wood chips out of that tree, and then remove that stump all in one sitting. So, definitely much more convenient and a lot easier, and will help the series progress a little bit quicker, I guess is how I should put it, especially with the fact that I want this to be a mini-series anyway, right? Those of you that don't know, for whatever reason, I'm on console. I don't have the ability to do any kind of a lumberjack mod, so I don't have the ability to take the chainsaw after I've cut down the tree and remove the stump from there. We don't have that option on console, unfortunately, so this is my best bet, really, so that's why we're going with this. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. So we're going to take this and sell these wood chips here. 70,000 liters of wood chips. It's quite a lot. It should be a decent payday back. It's going to take us a while to get back up to the amount of money we did have. Obviously, we spent a lot more money to be able to get this set up properly. And I kind of made I bought the Crampy here, which is a trailer that I do really like and enjoy. And I made it green and yellow to kind of match our John Deere here. And the same thing with the Tree Devour mod at the front. It's just green, but a similar setup, right? Just trying to kind of make things match a little bit here. But yeah, hope you're doing well. Things are pretty good here. I don't know. Should I go into here? This is another bonus, I guess, with doing the wood chips, right? For the most part, what we were doing before, we were just going to be selling it into one specific spot the entire time. There are like 10 different sell points for wood chips, so we'll get to see a lot more of the map this way as well, right? So I'm pretty excited about this shift, and hopefully you are too. All right, so let's sell these wood chips. Let's see how much money we get here. Like I said, it should be pretty big money. I would think we're going to get closer to 40 or 50,000 here. Looking more like 50,000 at this point. Almost 50,000 exactly. That's fantastic. We got 30 grand out of that. Now, the I'm gonna drive on the wrong side of the road here for a minute. The field we were working on in the last episode, we didn't get finished, unfortunately. That my goal was to get it finished, but we just kind of ran out of time for the episode, right? I want to keep them like I normally do, around 30 to 45 minutes, and we were just, getting a little bit too long, so I had to end it. And but hopefully now that we have this, we'll be able to progress a little bit quicker as well, right? We are sliding all over the place. Whoa! We're hitting stuff left and right. It's a disaster. I guess I should have had the beacons on. I forgot to do that, but anyway. So, everyone seemed, for the most part, there were a couple that didn't, but for the most part, everyone seemed to be enjoying this bit of a change, a bit of a different direction, if you will. Something different, right? I wanted to try something different. We do a lot of challenges that are, in essence, we have to start kind of the same way. That's just due to, how much money you have in the account, which sometimes is zero and sometimes it's very little. This is a completely different perspective and a completely different approach of what we're trying to accomplish, right? We are not trying to specifically set up a series where we are actually doing the harvesting of crops, really not even specifically drilling them. We probably will end up doing one drilling when, you know, the series is over, as I mentioned. But yeah, that's kind of the goal here. And a lot of you were talking about the rocks, right? I was very concerned with the rocks at the end of the first episode. And I still am concerned about those rocks. But you all have great ideas, right? You really did. And there were ideas that I had too. I kind of mentioned it as well. You know, if it gets to a point where we're unable to turn them into an arable type of field, we can do grapes or olives or something else, right? There are other types of crops we can put on the side of a hill. You know, the grapes and olives would be something, especially grapes, would be something you would typically be more prone to seeing on hillsides. A lot of the times grapes are, on the side of hills that are near lakes or, you know, rivers or oceans or whatever, right? So if worst comes to worst, we have that, I guess is how I should put it. We have that way we can go with it, where we can go at it that way. And this, let me talk straight. If it gets to that point where we're not able to move these rocks out like I'm hoping we can, we can at least have, you know, the presence of mind to know that we can go a different route, which is grapes, olives, etc. Other types of farming on this side of hills, right? I mean, the real goal of this was to test out the possibility of trying to do something like this, right? This is not your atypical series where we're really trying to accomplish, you know, a certain amount of money or a certain number of fields or whatever. We're really just trying to say, we bought this, quite frankly, terrible land, and we're going to try to see if we can figure out a way to make it succeed as an actual normal traditional farm, if you will. Whether that's from a graping perspective or from an arable perspective. Now, we've got a lot of stumps in here to get rid of. There's no beating around the bush on that. There is a lot that we have to get rid of. There's a lot more here that I'm probably going to miss. So we're going to have to kind of probably do some other passes, I guess, later on to make sure that we've accomplished removing all of the stumps when the time comes to try to turn this into some kind of an arable field. Now, really what I would like to do, and we kind of talked about this in the last episode, is, you know, knock out one section first and then move on to the next kind of thing. And I think, you know, with the way that I was wording it last time is I was, you know, going to probably knock out all the trees first before I tried to do anything. But I think what I would honestly like to do here is attempt to take this one, which is the one that probably has the best bet of being able to be turned into some kind of an arable field, and see if it's even possible. One thing I can tell you is that some of these trees that are put in here by design, what I mean by that, let me jump out here. It's really loud, I apologize, but let me jump out here. So like this right here, I can't get rid of this. I don't think there's a way for me to get rid of it in the construction menu either. Yeah, I can't remove this. I've tried utilizing the stump grinder on it, the tree devour mod, I should say. Doesn't work, doesn't remove it. So we're kind of stuck with that, right? And there's going to be things like that, and that's what I'm kind of concerned with when it comes to those rocks that we've been talking about, right? That maybe I won't be able to remove them. As you can clearly see here, it's not allowing me to remove it. So, it's going to be a struggle, this one, because we're going to have to, you know, kind of shift as we move along, right? And change plans, change ideas, etc., right? There's not going to be an easy way for me to just say, oh, we're just going to do this easily. Now, maybe on PC, maybe there would be a better choice to do that. I don't know. This is not working. I expected myself to make this work, and it's not working. There we go. There we go. Alright, so I think maybe there's one or two other trees somewhere in this vicinity that we can hit, but I think most of these are now down. It's just a matter of us going around here and trying to knock out some more of these stumps. Which is going to be a bit of a struggle itself to try to find these stumps. Now, things I've done in the past and things I'm, you know, going to probably continue to do is if you paint the ground, you can get rid of a lot of these bushes, and it makes it a lot easier for you to see what you're missing, where your stumps are, etc., right? And while that is, you know, money to spend that we don't really want to spend, it is a way to get around, you know, missing something. And since we are more than likely, especially on this field, going to be turning this into an arable field, I think this is the best bet for an arable field. I don't think it really makes that big of a difference. We're going to plow it up anyway, more than likely, right? Or at least part of it's going to be plowed up. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is the odds are I'm going to spend some money, knowing it's going to be money that's just completely wasted. But in essence, for us, it's not really that wasted because we're actually going to be utilizing it to be able to make sure that we don't miss any stumps when we're trying to, you know, land manipulate, if you will, right? When the land manipulation comes into play, if there's any stumps that we missed, it's going to cause all kinds of mayhem. And that's why I think these rocks and well, obviously those stumps that I can't get rid of, those fake stumps that they're put in there for design purposes, there's not really going to be anything I do about it, right? I'm just going to have to suffer through those. What else can I talk about? There are some new series that are heading to the channel here very quickly. Very soon, I guess is how I should put it. Not very quickly, but very soon. One of those is an old series that really I kind of... How do I put it? I guess I took a elongated break on. We haven't done an episode on the series since April, I think, of this year, which is crazy. I said at that time when we stopped, I said we were going to take a bit of a break, but we'll be back very, very soon. Really wasn't that soon. If it was April, it really wasn't that soon, right? But nonetheless, we are bringing that series back. Now, those of you who've been around for a long time probably know what I'm talking about. This is the Can You Survive 25 challenge. Now, that challenge specifically is in regard to running a series that will go for the entirety of FS25. And what does that mean? Well, what that means is we're not going to like continue to forever and ever, but until another iteration of the Farming Simulator game comes out, that series should be in some fashion running. Now, we have been admittedly way behind. We haven't done an episode, like I said, since April, I think is what it was. So it's been a long time. And there will be one. It may already be out by now. I don't know for sure if I made a decision or not to release it on Sunday night. I was considering releasing it on Sunday night as kind of an extra bonus video. But if I did or if I didn't, it's coming this weekend probably or early next week. If I did, then you've already seen it. But we kind of did a reboot or a retool of it. And what does that mean? Well, really what it means is we still are on the same map. We still really kind of started with the same basic premise, but I sold everything that we started with, everything that we had did up to that point, and kind of started over to an extent. I guess tiny bit of a spoiler, but not really. We're still starting with a greenhouse farm. That's our first farm, which is what we had originally. We're just moving locations and kind of changing the setup a little bit to kind of reboot or retool that series a bit. Since I just felt, since we haven't done one in so long, and I wasn't exactly happy with how it was going, that I would take one step backward to get two steps forward, if that makes sense. And really, you'll see what I mean when you watch it. But we basically drop what we had at the time of the last episode in April. We had double what the land we have now. And I bumped our loan back up to the full amount too. So it'll all make sense when you watch the episode, if you are willing to watch the episode, which I highly recommend you do. I think you will enjoy it. But it all makes sense, but in essence, we are still doing, the first farm is still the same thing. It's just a different location, a different setup, and I think it's going to set us up better for the longevity of the actual series itself, if that makes sense. It'll all make sense, but anyway, I guess what I'm trying to get at is make sure you check it out if you haven't done so already. If it's out. If it's not out, look for it here in the next couple of days. We'll put it like that. Now, it's going to be a series that, similar to this one, where it's not going to be something where I have a consistent, schedule where it's every other day or anything like that. It'll just come out whenever I have the time to do one. You know, since it's a series that is, in essence, going to be running forever, I'm not that concerned if I'm not able to get one out once a week. But if I'm able to do one once a week, I will certainly do it. It really just depends on my time, honestly. When the time is there, you'll see an episode of that week. When it's not, well, I guess we'll make a decision from that point when the next one will be, right? So I think for the most part we've gotten most of these stumps. Now, besides, obviously, these ones that we're not able to do anything with. We have $50,000. The difficulty is going to come into how are we going to get rid of these rocks? Can we even get rid of these rocks? I don't think we're going to be able to. But I feel like we should at least try it. It means we're going to waste some money is what it means. We're going to waste probably a lot of money. Because we're going to have to buy multiple things to be able to try to get rid of those stumps. Evidently, I don't have access to that tree. That's the tree we tried earlier, isn't it? It is. Whoops. Anyway. So I think, having said all of that, I think this section is now done. Minus a couple of stumps that I'm sure I missed. So, what are we going to do? Well, I guess... Well, there's a stump over there. Let me try to get that. If it's one I can get rid of. It might not even be one I can get rid of. So I guess what we're going to do is look at the shop and see if we can get some kind of a... Or is that a rock? Oh, that's a rock. You get some kind of a skid steer or something that hopefully we can utilize for rock purchasing. By the way, it is still August. We haven't jump days. We don't need a jump day specifically on this series. This series is more of a you know, trying stuff out to see if we can get things to work kind of series. So I guess really what we should do is this one. I mean, we're going to give it a shot. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? We're going to give it a shot. If we waste money, we waste money. I mean, whenever we come back to sell it, even if it doesn't work, right? I mean, we're definitely going to lose a little bit of money, but it's probably only going to be around $8,000 to $10,000 that we're actually going to lose. Which is significant. Don't get me wrong, it is significant, but I think it's worth the shot to see if we can get this to work or not. So I will see you back on our land. Alright, we are back here. I've got it unfolded already. It's the moment of truth. Let's see if this is going to work. I'm going to start up here on the top, though. If it's going to work on one of these smaller ones. Let's try this one over here, actually. Alright, please work. And it actually seems like it might. Please break up. Don't just sit there and make the noises and then not do anything, because that very well could be it as well. Oh my gosh, it worked. Oh, that's a miracle, gang. It's an absolute miracle. Is it going to work on this big dog here? Okay. Okay. This is going better than I expected, gang. Way better than I expected. This is great. Okay. This is this is awesome. I'm so happy. I really did not think it was going to work. I really thought we had just wasted our money. So it looks like not all of them are actually, you know, giving us stones, right? There are only some of them are going to be able to give us stones. I don't think this is going to work. I'm going to try something radical here too and see if this does anything to these stumps that are kind of in here. No, they're not. It's not doing anything. I didn't think so. But it was worth a shot. But at least now we know, right? We can kind of work around these stumps here a little bit, I think. I hope. This is good, man. This is exciting. I don't know if it's going to work on that big dog way up there. But at least for the one that we know more than likely is going to be possible for us to be able to turn into an arable field, it's going to work. This one looks like it might actually give us rocks too, because it's taken a while to crack it. Yeah, so some of them are giving us actual rocks out of them, and then others are just going away. So that's another thing. We're going to have to get some kind of a bucket or something so we can pick all these rocks up and then obviously put them in our trailer. Hopefully we can reach the trailer. If we can't, then we got to buy another trailer. This is fantastic, man. I'm so happy. So very much happy. Let's get a zoom in here. I'm going to try to get a thumbnail off of this while we're doing it. I think that's going to be about as good as I can get for a thumbnail there, Z. In the edit, try to capture that, buddy. Alright, so I think we have a couple more rocks. There's definitely one over here. I'm going to go up and do in the drone and take a look after this. Oh, there's one over there too, I think. Now, those stones aren't probably going to produce a whole lot of money for us, but, you know. That might be even a better picture there, Z. You're actually seeing the piston go in and out to destroy the rock. All right, let's get a bird's eye view here. Let's make sure we didn't miss any rocks here. On this, at least on this area. It does not appear. These, we don't own this land down here, actually, which is a little sucks. So we wish we did, because it's super flat here. But yeah, we don't own that. So all right, well, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Ooh, what are we stuck on here? Well, I guess the rocks. We're going to attempt the big dog here. I don't think this is going to come down, but I kind of have to try. I'm excited, so I need to try this. So this one has a bunch of little tiny rocks as well on the ground. I don't know if I'm going to be able to modify those or not. Maybe it's just a design. I don't know. If it lets me knock this thing down, then this thing is king right here. I still think this might be too severe of a hill to try to turn it into anything else besides, you know, grapes. But I guess we'll. There's only one way to find out, right? Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think it was gonna let me do it. I thought that might be a bit of a stretch. Yep. This whole section up here, I cannot remove it. A bit unfortunate, but also kind of expected, right? Kind of expected. Just give it one more shot just to make sure. Yep. Okay. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring this all the way back down here. I'm going to put this away temporarily. We're going to continue on with removing trees and get that trailer full. Once we have that full, we'll go sell another load of the wood chips. Once we do that, then we're going to have to fit some kind of a bucket to this. Actually, what I should do right now is actually verify that this can even be done, and I don't need another trailer. Because if I need another trailer, then we've got another issue, right? Can I reach up high enough to dump a bucket with this? No, I cannot. No, I cannot. I definitely cannot. Okay, so that's a problem. That means we're going to have to get another trailer of some sort for these rocks, or we just get, you know, something for the rocks in general, I guess. I I think another trailer is probably the smartest approach. I mean, we definitely have rocks, don't get me wrong. There's definitely rocks to pick up, but I think another trailer is the way to go. Oh, we missed a tree over here. I think another trailer is the way to go. We can get that filled up. Once we have the rocks all gone, obviously we could sell it at that point. But yeah, I think that's the way to go about it. So that's what we're going to do. So we own this and here. I think I'm going to go up on this field next, which this field's got some pretty heavy hills on it itself, but I think that's the way we're going to go. We're going to go up the side of this hill and give it a shot. Because if we're going to try to make arable field, what ideally the situation would be is to maybe attempt to combine a bit of this field and a bit of this field, maybe. At least the lower portion of it might be possible, right? Okay, we're running into... I don't know what we're running into there. Okay, so that's done. When this gets heavy, even the John Deere has a little bit of a time, a little bit of a struggle trying to has a bit of a struggle trying to, you know, get going, I guess, is how I'll put it. Now, the nice thing is here, there's a nice little track going up here, and I think it's up to that water tower. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. I will try to show it here in a minute. But there's a water tower up at the very top of here. And I think that's really where this track is going. It would be nice if we're going to try to, you know, do a bit of a combination here and trying to do a little bit of land manipulation. It would be nice to try to utilize this track as a way to get up to at least some of the fields that might be a little bit higher up in the air that we're going to attempt to do here. If that makes sense. If it doesn't, it will make sense when we're done, I promise, when you see it. Alright, we are almost full here. We should just try to get these little small guys up here. Definitely don't want to be wasting any trees, if at all possible here. This is definitely the approach we should have gone. We should go with for sure. Is changing into this tree devour mod. This is helping us out tremendously, man. This is just making things on our life so much easier. Right, we're gonna take this small tree here. I don't want to take any of the big ones. Maybe I should have just taken one big one. Maybe one big one would have did the trick a little bit better for us, but that's all right. Too late now. We're cruising through the smaller trees here. Oh, the rain has started. We were wondering when that was going to happen. There we go, 100%, perfect. All right, so I'm actually going to leave this here. Last time I brought it with me. Well, actually, you know what? No, we do need it. I'm sorry, we do need it because there's some being stored in there. We do need it. Ignore me. All right, so where are we going to sell this at? If I went to the right menu, that would be better. Wood chips. Probably still the fire department, 339. But let's just double check that. Yep, 339 looks like the best price. So we're heading back to the fire department. So let's do that. Alright, we decided to just do another load while we were up there, gang, so we're going to sell another 70,000 liters of wood chips here. This is going to get us close to 70,000, I would suspect, maybe 60,000, somewhere in that range, but it's still going to be good money. Not that we specifically need the money, but we need to just continue to try to get rid of more and more. We actually are at time for the episode, though, so we are going to leave the episode at this point, ending with the remaining wood chips that we're going to be selling here. So I want to thank all of my members. I cannot thank you guys enough. You guys are the best. You guys know that. You always give me the insight and the help that I need whenever I have questions. If you have stumbled across this and have not done so already, make sure you smash the like and subscribe button. They are free. They help me more than you can possibly imagine. It's one of the only free things remaining in the world that you can still do today. So, if you haven't, smash that for me. Help me out. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below, as always. I really appreciate it, each and every single one of you. And we got to 68,000, almost 70,000. We're in a good spot here. Moving forward, this is going to help speed things up. We know we can get rid of most of the rocks now. This is fantastic. I think this series is going to succeed now that we made the shifts today. Very happy about that. So, again, we'll see you back in the next episode. Don't expect it to be anytime within the next couple of days, maybe once a week if I'm able to do it. But again, this is a series that whenever I have the time to do it, will be released. It's not going to be released on a set every other day schedule, like the current Kinlag Aqua Farm series is, and the upcoming series that is yet to be announced. My members know about it, but no one else knows about that yet. So we'll leave it at that. Hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like, subscribe button. I'll see you next time.